What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Flyin Garage. Or as I should say, part 2 of finally finishing Old Blue. In the last episode we went through and new valve covers, cleaned up the engine, we got new fuel line. No, we didn't put a new fuel line on it. Lights, wiring, fuel tank. No, we didn't do fuel tank in the last one. That's in this video, my bad. Fuel tanks in this video. We've got marker lights, tail lights, we got a voltage regulator, a diode for the charging system, a few other things to install. So in this video we're going to be finishing Old Blue. We also got a windshield in it and a few other things that make it just a little bit more ready for the road. So in this episode our focus is getting it on the road, getting it legal, driving it for the first time. So with that being said, join me as we get Old Blue finished. Let's get into the video. Alright folks, so we did a thing. I got a little sidetracked actually. That kind of happens around here. So we were going to get to the fuel tank, but instead that's what we just did. Decided to give the windshield one last shot in the Indy, and I cracked it all to shit. I'm not gonna lie, it's cracked all over the place, but honestly it's no worse than the van, and the van's transmission's going out, and I kind of pressed for time to get this running, so I decided to just throw this in here. I'm gonna get some windshield sealer and seal it tomorrow, and then this is going to go out and Indy's going to come in, and then we can mess with the fuel tank. So we are getting very close to driving this truck, and I can't wait because man, it's been too long that I've had this and I ain't been able to drive it. So yeah, windshield in there looks good. Alright folks, well it's the next day and a few things have changed around here. As you see, look through the windshield, what's sitting in the carport. Yeah, well since it don't have a windshield, it now gets that home. We rinsed this thing off when we got it out today. I did glue up the little thing for the rear view mirror last night, let it sit in, and I'd have one of those clamp on rear view mirror things that kind of 360 everything, and I like that for this truck, so I clamped it on. We got us a fresh brand new air freshener in here. I took the GPS and the dash cam out of my van for this truck. I went ahead and ran the wires, so everything does come on. I will go ahead and kick that on for you real quick. We checked the sound system. It sounds really good in here. There is a couple leaks and we are going to address them. I need to get some windshield sealer and kind of peel back the stuff going along the edges and just kind of seal it, and it should be good. But right over here it leaks just a tad, and up there just a little. Other than that, it's pretty good. Kick this over for you. We got our lights that come on. All of our stuff down here comes on. CB comes on. Radio comes on. The dash cam comes on, and so does the GPS here, which I use a GPS as a speedometer most of the time. But it's also kind of nice if someone's over in the seat and it's like, hey, this road up here, blah blah blah, do you see it? Well, yeah, I do on my map. So I kind of like that. And sometimes I do use it for directions, but not a whole lot. Other than that, everything is coming on, everything's working good. So far, so good. So with that being said, I know that we need to change this window out, and I know we're sidetracked again. We were going to work on the gas tank. Well, I really got sidetracked when I put the windshield in, and that changed the direction of where we were going at the moment. So that being said, this window needs to be changed, because when I got it, I tried to work the little latch loose and it snapped. I actually have it in here, but I don't know how to fix it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rob the wing window out of that truck, and we're going to put it in this truck. That truck, the wing window is good. I've checked the latch. It works great. So we're going to rob that one, put it in here, because I want this truck to be locked up as tight as I can get it. I know a lock's only to keep an honest person honest, and really just to buy you time. And these really are kind of easy to pop open and stuff like that, but I still want it to close because it also leaks a little bit when it rains. And I noticed if I'd shut it harder, where it would like clamp and it would stop leaking. So we need to address that. So I'm going to pull that off. It's probably going to be all you're going to see today. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go start pulling that window. I just kind of was sitting in here enjoying the cab of my truck now that it has a windshield, even though it is busted to hell. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. It'll get me on the road for now, because it seems like the cops in this town kind of don't care about that. And I'm glad, because I've been driving my van for a while with a busted windshield, and they've said nothing. And I didn't bust it. It just, one day it just started happening. There was 2 little chips up in the windshield when I got it, and they were there forever. And I drove it for years and it was fine. Well, one day I had it kind of parked and it was a little flexed, and it was in the sun, and it got too hot. And when I came back out to the van, I looked at the windshield and I was like, you know what, something don't look right. And it dawned on me that my windshield was just spidered. So yeah, I've been having to drive it like that ever since. But it's lasted me that long. I can still see out of it fine. I can see out of this fine. It is delaminating a little bit, but that's typical for old windshields and stuff that sat in the sun and weren't sealed properly. So with that being said, I will seal it soon. But yeah, I'll probably see y'all either later on this evening or tomorrow on the camera, especially once I get that window pulled, because I'm not going to put y'all through that boring stuff. I'll probably pull the window and put it in without, you know, touching the camera. So yeah, I'll see you guys either this evening or tomorrow. So back on the old Ford, sun's in my eyes, so yeah. We just checked the tank today. I can smell a really strong varnish smell coming out of here, and unfortunately we stuck Mike's scope down the tank and it is just gone. So we're gonna have to take the tank out and clean it. We have done some things to this in the past couple of days, off and on. We've been working on something else in the shop I will show y'all in just a second. But I do believe I've got some of the wiring crossed. I went ahead and fixed that. Like on the dash, the cluster was showing, when I turned the key over, it was showing dead instead of charged. But now when I turn my key, it's actually showing voltage there. So we got that fixed. Got y'all twisted up here, my wiring. We still have to do the wiring from the bed or the cab back to get the lights working for our tail lights. but we have been working on it off and on. I'll show you what we've done. I was digging for some parts the other day for this guy, because we've got go-ahead and we're going to start working on this, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. We came up here, we took the grommet out, and I put this oil cap in on this side because I like it better. We came through, we had to put the original pulleys back on because I do believe that's the reason the alternator wasn't charging, because that pulley was substantially smaller. And seeing that I know for a fact pulley swaps on lawnmowers, I would know that your drive pulley off of the engine needs to be big to spin things fast. So, with that being said, I know for a fact that we needed our pulleys back on, so I cleaned them and reinstalled them. We got our belts back in place and tight. I went through and added a ground for the voltage regulator because I'm trying to figure out why the charging system isn't working. So we did that. While I was digging for parts, I found these nice little chrome spark plug wire hangers. So I decided to come through and add those into here. And this is what we've been working on here. 302 Ford, of course. If y'all have seen the video, the first video of the 1979 Indy 500 that we had just acquired, you'll know that this was picked up from my buddy. We grabbed this engine from him. He did not want it anymore. He took this out of his truck to put in a new blueprint engine. There was nothing wrong with this engine. He could not get the distributor to line up properly, and he decided to say to hell with it and replace the whole engine. He did have some exhaust leaks. He did have some issues with this thing, so I kind of see why he replaced it. But we've got it. We've done quite a bit to it, and we will be sticking it in the Indy up there. The story on the Indy is I got this from a guy here in town for parts. Originally it was for parts, and it's a payment for working on his 1978 black F-150 that's lifted, short bed step side. It needs floor pans. I told him that I would do it for parts, and he had nowhere to put the truck. He needed it moved. He said he'd just pay me the whole truck if I could move it for the price of doing his stuff. So, of course, there's our Indy 500, and yes, it is a true Indy. The seats, door panels, the interior itself tells me. Yes, the doors are painted red on the insides of them, but that does not matter. It is an Indy. The seat is the same design, the red and gray. As you see, the cab color is silver. It's got the rare cargo light on the rear. You don't see those a lot on dent sides. Black package truck, of course, black mirrors, black bumpers. That would have been common on your Indy. And we'll be replacing this 302 with the one down there. I did run the numbers on that one down there, and we found out that that is a 1978 Lincoln 302 out of a Lincoln Versailles. So, because that's the only thing I can think of Lincoln that would have carried a 302 back in 1978. Everything Lincoln was a big block. You know, your Lincoln Continentals, your Lincoln Town Cars, and back in 78, your Lincoln Continental was technically a Lincoln Continental Town Car. So, with that being said, I'm going to chalk it up as I do believe it's a Lincoln Versailles 1978 302. So it is not stock to Daniel's truck. And this guy here is a 1965 Ford Galaxy 500, or not what is it? is it Galaxy? Yeah, Galaxy 500 351, and it is a true 351 block, all that stuff. So this isn't a stock engine either. But I'm gonna quit blabbing. We're gonna go ahead and pull our tank down here, because I need to get this one done so I can start working on this one and get y'all some videos out. We got quite a bit of work to do to this guy. It is not going to be as easy as this one. Old Blue, of course. She has rust, holes. You got little tiny holes under the windows. Holes. There is a hole on each door on the inside, so that makes me think that it was parked facing downhill and the water collected in the doors and sat in here on both sides and rotted them out. There's a little bit of rot on the driver's floor pan, but not much, and everything else is in pretty good shape on this truck. It is missing the master cylinder. It needs brake lines and all the brake work done. It needs engine. I think it's probably going to need a trans. I do want to convert this to a 4-speed or a 5-speed. So that's the plans with this truck. And yeah, I want to get to it soon. So the quicker that we can get old Blue done, the quicker that we can get to the Indy. So I'm going to go ahead and set y'all up under the truck. We're going to go ahead and pull our tank and get that out of there, see what it looks like inside once we get it out, and take the sending unit out, get it cleaned up, let it dry, put it back in, plumb it in, make sure our line here coming up to our engine is unclogged. I'm going to run a air compressor out here, blow some air through it, see if it's free, and if it is, we can hook it up and then put our tank back in, get all that plumbed in, and then we should be good to go with the tank. The only thing I got to do is figure out which wires is the wires for the fuel gauge, so I can run those, because they are non-existent under this truck. Fun times. We got it out. Now we got to do is, oh yeah, it's got some stuff in it. And God, does it stink? Pretty damn bad. Well, I don't know how long it's been since that tank's been pulled, but it's been pulled. Let's clean it. Alright, we got a small problem. We got the tank out, got it cleaned, inside and out it's drying. The filler neck is drying, hoses are drying. We went ahead and pulled our sending unit. The sock was really gummed up, so we went ahead and cleaned that up real good. There's a little bit of trash still in it, but it's not near as bad as it was. So I am happy with that. The only thing I'm not happy with is the fact that our float is garbage. There's no fixing that. We got to find a float for that tank, and it poses an issue. So I was thinking, well, we'll take the tank, or take the float and the sending unit out of this truck. It's a rear tank truck, or as it seems. So, rear tank, of course. It has the rear tank. It is rusted through though, but it does have it. But sending unit and everything's gonna be different in it. So I'm looking around. Oh, they cut that. Ding dang dadgum. I hate that. I hate it when people cut hoses. I could have used those. So we're looking and we're like, okay, this doesn't have gas door here. But what does it have? Oh wow, there's a tank in there. Who would have ever known? So now we know this was originally a dual tank truck and has a single tank bed on it. As you see, we know this isn't the right bed for this truck because number one, an Indy did not come with trim. Number two, this truck did not come with trim. As you see, there is no spots for the trim to go on, only on the bed. So this was probably like a Ranger bed or a Lariat bed, something like that. But we do have a tank in there. So I think what I'm going to do is take a little quick peek under here. Oh, okay. I see what they did. The hoses and everything are still there for the tank. It's been patched. Is that one any good? Maybe it is. It used to have running boards. Ew. Disgusting. Running boards on a dent side do not look good. Very ugly. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to pull out a sending unit out of this and see if we can't make something work. Alright folks, we got Marshall out here to check his work. I think he approves. We got the bed off. Was a pain in the ass, but we did it. Had to take and loosen the two bolts that were this way on the bumper brackets and take the back ones that were back towards the back off and then swing the bumper down so we could slide everything back. But I did it all by myself and it's not easy, I will tell you that. We got in here, we got in to see the tank. Tank's actually not in bad shape on this one, so we'll be able to use this one. I don't know how we're going to plumb to it, but we're going to find a way, even if I've got to run a hose that goes to it. I don't know if I'm going to use this bed. I still think I want to flatbed this truck, so it is very possible that we will actually just be putting in a filler neck here for us to fill it. But it's not too bad. It's hard to get a light down in there. Yeah, I can't do it without. You can kind of see down in there. It's not too bad. Here's our sending unit. We've done pulled it out. It does have float, so I'm hoping it's good. We're also going to rob the connector off this truck because it does have a rear tank. It does have the connector on it. We'll be robbing that one for this and then robbing this one for blue, and I'm also hoping that that tank there has a good float so I can use it with this sending unit here. So let's go ahead and get this off. See if alright, we just did the old float test on this old thing. It's actually good. Submerged it for a few minutes. No bubbles. There were some surface bubbles when I put it under, but I wiped them off and nothing came about. There's nothing in it. That's a good float. Now we can replace that float on our sending unit and put this sending unit back in the tank, get it all buttoned up and ready to go back in the truck. Alright, that doesn't belong there, but we got our sending unit back in. Everything seems to be in place. We got a hose on there to replace the one that was gone. That's clamped off. Everything's sealed off on the tank. We have these clamps tight. These clamps are not tight. They're ready to go on. We have our filler neck back in place. We have the grommet in its proper position now. We also have the wiring is up in here. As you see, it's up in there. I do have them taped off on each. The ground, it's fresh ground, and then we found our plug for our fuel gauge. It did have a pulled off wire in it. It looks like someone just kind of ripped the housing or the harness off. Where did that go? There it is. Looks like somebody ripped the harness out. But thanks to the other truck, we had another one. We put it in. It is wired in. So the tank is ready to go back in the truck. And we're about to stick that in there now. Get that all plumbed up, get in there. And then, yeah, we should have a fuel system. I guess I need to hook a hose up to the hose down below that runs up to the front, at least blow through it and make sure it's not obstructed. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll throw the tank in, and I'll get y'all back on the camera when we got it in and done. So we have a tank back in the truck. It's plumbed in, hooked up, wired up, all that stuff. We still have wiring to run back. I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. I think I'm going to go into the shop and finish working on what I have out here, which is the 302 for the Indy in there, which now I'm starting to think isn't an Indy. And if y'all want to see that, be sure to stay tuned and see that video, which probably is going to drop before this anyway, so jump back. If y'all ain't seen it, go check it out. But we're going to take and call it a day on this. The fuel system is completely hooked up to the fuel pump all the way back to the tank. I have 2 fuel filters on this. There's one back here by the tank. There's one up here, that way in case, you know, I don't want it sucking crap. If I got to replace a couple back here, cool. I can always, excuse me, change that line out later and put a solid line once it's clean. But right now it's a junction line, and it has a fuel filter in it, fuel filter up here. So I will always keep a fuel filter up here, but I may not always keep one back here. We got everything secured. The gas neck is in place like it should be. Oh, I'm losing gasket. No bueno. Come on. Dadgummit. Okay. I'm going to need to break the rest of that off. That crap right in there. I know that's my gas tank seal, but, or my gas cap seal, I should say. But what can I do when that's all you got? I'll get another one later. Hopefully this one will last for a little bit. Okay, there we go. shouldn't fall down in there now. Ooh. Now it's too loose. Alright, we need to figure out something. Alright, we got that tight. So we're good to go there. But everything's secure. I'm happy with the tank installation. And I'm pretty sure everything's going to work. So all we got is that wiring to do. We'll do that tomorrow. And we'll see you guys back out here again tomorrow. Alright, it's the next day. And we're going to tackle the wiring on the back of this thing. Get it done. Because yesterday, we plumbed our tank in. We now have a functional fuel tank. At least we're hoping. It should be, though. Everything's unclogged and should be flowing just fine. We've yet to put fuel in it. Got to get some. Got to get a battery for this old girl. But when we get fuel in a battery, we should have a functional system. Still got to see if the charging system's working. If it's not, we'll have to troubleshoot that. But other than that, we're good. She will need some antifreeze and some oil, of course. And we got our mascot out here today. He's inspecting. What you think, Goob? Is it good stuff? Does the boy approve? Well, the tail's wagging, so I think so. Now he's got to come check out the Indy. I actually did quite a bit of work to this last night. Of course, we took the bed off yesterday for the fuel tank. Decided to leave it off, and I'll probably go ahead and pull it the rest of the way off because number one, it's going to be a flat bed, and number two, I can sure get the things a lot easier this way. We also tore the hood off and lifted the front up, started tearing out a bunch of stuff under the hood, getting ready for the engine swap. So y'all be sure to check out this video. It's going to be a good one. But we're going to go ahead and get out here and get our wiring tackled. We have taillights and turn signals to wire up in the rear. And then once we get all that wired up, we're going to start junctioning in and adding in a trailer light wiring harness so we can pull a trailer with this old girl. So, let's get to it for the day. Alright, so we're over the truck. Of course, yesterday, tank, we've actually got the filler neck hung up this time. It's in there properly. The grommet is pushed into the bucket properly. Everything's hooked up. We got our wires ran. Let's see here. Where's the sending unit? Right there. Wires. We got a fuel filter up in here. Let's see. I think right there. There you go. We've done our exhaust too. Since we're up under here, I'll go ahead and show y'all everything. It's hung, clamped together, turn downs. So at this point, we're focusing on the rest of the wiring, and we need to go ahead and finish running it to the back of the truck, because I know I'm going to need an extension. I'm going to need to connect some wires to it to make it longer. I don't know why they cut it out. I guess there had to be a reason. Maybe they needed part of it. I don't know. I really don't know. But most important part is to get it back the way it was. So with that being said, let's see. Get that wiring back behind there. Tuck it. Tuck it. Alright. So, now we're going to go ahead and move a little further back. And, well, actually, let's just do it here. Yeah. Let's just do it here. I might have hit the mic a couple of times. I apologize for that if y'all are hearing any distorted sounds. I'm not sure how long this video is going to end up being. It might end up being a small movie. Or I might just do 2 parts. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. Okay, it looks like our wiring's good there. Or is that a nick in the wire? It is indeed. On that green one there. Oh yeah, it's chewed. So let's get these untwisted. Let's get this excess tape pulled off of here. Here we go. This looks like yellow has a little chunk missing too, so we'll probably cut that out and go back a little further. Let's see where we're at here. I might rob the wiring harness off of the other truck for now, because all we're trying to do is get that running and yard driving. So actually, yeah, let's figure out. This is about right here at the axle. Let's go over here and cut the wiring harness off the other truck and rob it. Alright. Right about the axle, we've got a harness. It finishes going backwards. Honestly, I feel like that harness is supposed to be a lot longer. Let's check this real quick. I might be right. It might be wound up somewhere. And it's supposed to reach the rear. No. Wrong. Might be better off just building one. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just build one. I'd hate to take stuff from the other truck when we're probably going to need it. Let me see if I can find the wires colors, the same wire colors back there, and then I can just connect to them. So we got a green, yellow, black, and a brown. Let's see what we can come up with. Tuck these back up in here. I like wiring harnesses tucked if I can help it. Here we go. Alright, let's go back there and see what we can locate. Let's see what we find. Come on, be good to us. Let's take the mic off. Oops. Secure that back on the shirt. Don't mind a wire, but it is a little pain in the butt sometimes. But I'm not one to complain. Okay, we got 3 wires. Where is our 4th? Oh, I see. I see. So our fourth wire, our green wire, comes over here. Yep. We got brown, we got black. So those are probably to be junctioned together and then ran. And then we've got our yellow wire over here. That is yellow, I think. Should be. I'm going to lay the camera on my chest. I don't know how good of an angle y'all are getting right now. Here comes goobers. Oh, goobers. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure that this is yellow. It looks white. It looks white to me. Where's my yellow wire? Is that just really faded? That shit looks white as hell. But I mean, it does have a line like the other one does. Okay. Well, I guess from here, I'm going to go ahead and junction in our wires. Well, can't seem to get away from the chain noise around here. Sorry about that, guys, but it's just what happens when your shop and house is backed up to a daggone rail yard. We did a bunch of stuff on here yesterday. We did get our wiring hooked up. So I robbed some of the connectors off of the Dodge van down there, and technically they're the same. The light fixtures for the taillights are also slightly the same. They sit a little deeper in the housing. I'm going to try to have to figure that out. But they work great. We've got running lights, we've got brake lights, we've got turn signals. The only thing we do not have at the moment is reverse lights. Can't seem to figure out why they're not working. We do have us a trailer light wiring harness hooked up. This bulb socket needs to be brought up a little more, and maybe I can try to play with it and get it to work. They're a little corroded on the insides from sitting so long, but I'm hoping we can get it to work. We've got this marker light working, that marker light working. Like I said, we've got our tail lights and everything working, turn signals, running lights, all of that good stuff. The only thing that we have left to do on the lights is, of course, our reverse lights. I had to replace the fixture in here yesterday because it was completely rotted out. We did rob some stuff from the bed here that we're probably not going to use. I mean, it's there, why not use it? The only other thing that I have an issue with is this light fixture right here was working with the turn signal, but not working with the running light, but the other one is. So I'm going to try to put in a fixture that works to get our running and turn signals working, and then eventually try to mess with our reverse lights, and then we will be done with the lights on this truck. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle that real quick and get the housing back in, get it fixed, and then we can focus on reverse lights if we have enough time. If not, I might say the heck with it and fool them later. It all depends. I don't really need them. You can run without reverse lights, but you can't run without everything else because, you know, legalities and shit. Other than that, we would have had this finished yesterday, but I ended up having to go inside last night. I get horrible migraines due to a bike wreck I had some years ago. Kind of screwed my neck up really bad, so sometimes I get migraines that run into my eye because I had a orbital cellulitis as a kid, and it damaged the muscle in my eye. I'm actually blessed that I still have my eye and it works. But with that being said, I get migraines and that muscle there, and oh, it was so bad last night. I was throwing up and all over the place. It was horrible. So I called it early last night, went inside, took some medicine, laid down, and dealt with that literally all night. And I wasn't going to come out today, but then I decided, you know what, I feel lazy, I got to do something, so here we are. But yeah, let's get that finished and get this addressed, so hopefully we'll have this whole thing done and can focus on old India up there. Alright, I do believe the weather's going to get shitty on us, so we're tying this up real quick. I cannot figure out why the running light won't work, but the turn signal's working. I changed out the junction, it's still the same. Whatever. Just whatever. I'll worry about it later. We've got all of our legal lights. So that's what matters. It's like our fasten belts light went out. Marker, as you can see, it is on. Marker down there. Headlight. No marker. Headlight. Marker. Not the right color marker, but marker light. Running light. Running light. Marker light. I'll flip this around here. Running lights. Brake lights. Kind of hard to see them light up. You might be able to see it. We got left turn signal, and right turn signal. Why did it stop flashing? What's flashing? Did we lose turns? Probably not. Probably losing battery. Yeah, we're losing battery. That's what it is. Don't have enough juice to power this. But y'all get the gist. It works. I gotta get a battery for this girl. Bad. But we have lights and they work. I know the turn signal on that side does work. It's just the battery doesn't have enough juice to click it. It's at like 8 volts right now. So since it may rain, we're going to turn this socket upside down. There. And put this one up in here. Wiring tucked off in there, and the same with this side. We'll kind of tuck our reverse, and I do believe that's it. So at this point it looks like we'll be back on this truck when we get some fuel, get a battery, get some windshield sealant, and get the rest of the stuff to finish this old girl up, because at this point we're at a standstill. We need parts, we need gas, we need a battery, we need all kinds of stuff. So I will see you guys whenever I'm able to acquire that stuff. I don't know when that will be. Hopefully it's soon. Alright, it's about a week later. We ain't touched this since the lights, but you know, I put those drop shackles in, and I really wanted the truck level. Well, the truck wasn't level. That didn't bring it down enough. So I actually just went ahead and took both sides of the leaves, the big leaf off the bottom. Took them out on both sides, and not only is it going to give me a softer ride for a good cruiser, it leveled it out pretty good. Might be hard to tell on camera, and especially where it's sitting, but she's pretty damn near well leveled out now. So we're still waiting for parts for this thing. Not sure when they'll come in, so hopefully soon, but money's tight. So I don't know if I've done this yet, but shout out to my friend Jeff in Virginia? Yeah, I think it's Virginia. Constantly watches the videos, so appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and yeah, that's about as much of an update as I have on this now, and we'll see y'all at some point soon where we get some parts and finish this thing up. Alright folks, it's been a couple weeks. What's that noise? I just filled the radiator with coolant, and I'm hoping I don't have a leak. Let's check. I don't see any leaks. Well, we put antifreeze in it. I still need some. We've got oil. We've got a filter. We've also have a voltage regulator. We have some 91 proof rubbing alcohol to put in the tank with the fuel. Also have some ZDDP additive, because I did not tear down into this engine. I do know it has roller rockers on it, but what else is rollers? I'm just going to be safe. It ain't going to hurt if I add it. So, hey. We got a bunch of good new parts to throw at this thing, along with the new parts we've already thrown at this thing. She's looking really good. We also have since, thanks to Mike, got taillights. And I'm glad Mike ordered my taillights for me, because the kit that I was going to get, apparently, this is my fault, because I didn't read into it too much. And when the Amazon lady came and delivered this, I was like, is there an extra box with this? You know, and she was like, no. And I opened it in front of her. I didn't see these in the bottom, but apparently it comes with just the lenses to go around the housing. So, I have extra lenses. But, we do have markers, too. So, we're going to go ahead and install some marker lights. And we are also going to do our oil change, put our voltage regulator in, get as much done as we can on this. And then tonight, probably come out here with a battery. See what the lights look like on this old girl. She's almost ready to fire. We need some fuel. We need some wheel cylinders for the rear, because I do know that they're worn out. and then we're going to need to bleed the brakes. But otherwise, we are very, very close. So let's get this thing one step closer. So hopefully soon we can drive this old girl on the road, because I am looking forward to it. Let's see what it looks like with new markers in it, because I'm excited about that. Alright. Front looks the same, because of course it had markers already. The rear has its markers now, tail lights. Check that out. Looks good. I do need to get some new turn signals. I'll probably use these for this truck, and of course those old ones are now on here. So now this truck has its markers, except for the turns down there, of course. But yeah, that gave us parts for both vehicles. It really looks good. Old blue's starting to come together. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take out our voltage regulator and install our new voltage regulator. Alright, along with the markers, I went ahead and dumped the alcohol in the tank. I've got our regulator on. There's our old one. There is our new one. Also, I figured out that there is a diode that I was missing. I had it on the other truck, and I always wondered where that wire went, so now I know. And I've got that taken off the other truck for now. We got it in place. Hopefully it's good. And with the pulley down there that is supposed to be on it, because remember, if y'all were watching at all when I took the other one off, it's a lot smaller. And I didn't think it would make such a difference, but it did. I think that was one of the reasons that it wasn't charging, because it wasn't spinning fast enough. So hopefully all of this fixes the problem. We're going to put this up. I think it's bad, but we're going to keep it anyway just in case. Maybe there's a way to test them. I'll look that up. But otherwise, it's time for the oil change. And I'm going to go get a drain pan. We're going to drain this oil and fill her up with some fresh stuff. Put a new oil filter on it. And yeah. We should be a lot further ahead on this old girl, and she should be a little bit closer to getting on the road for the first time in probably since like 99, 2000. So heck yeah, let's get this oil change done. Alright folks, so we were going to change the oil, but I just pulled the dipstick. Smells like gas. Very strong, and it was way over full. I have tipped it since, so it's kind of ran down the thing, but as you see, safe marks right here, and shit, it was up to here. Ignore that, that's just it dripping down the stick from me turning it. I am pretty sure that now the reason that this truck isn't running properly, and the reason that it wouldn't fire up the last time I tried to fire it up, and it would just run for a second and die, is because it's not getting ample fuel to it, because the fuel pump is completely shit. And of course it's dumping fuel into the engine. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and I'm going to order us a fuel pump for this truck. And I'm not going to change the oil until we do the fuel pump because of the fact that I don't want any traces of gas getting in the new fuel, so, or in the new oil. Yeah, I said that right. Damn, can't talk today. Yeah, I don't want traces of fuel in the new oil. There we go. Damn, I don't know why it's so hard to say. So I guess I'm just go ahead and stab this back in there. We're gonna cut this for now, and when I get the fuel pump in, we'll do the oil change, fuel pump, knock all that out, and then we can focus on getting the battery and some fuel and some windshield sealant. And we should be ready to go. All right, folks. Got us 2 more jugs of antifreeze. The 2 that we bought did not do the job. So we're going to add a couple more. So it will do the job. Since it's been cold around here recently, I didn't want to put any water in it. Last thing I'd want to do is freeze our block. So I waited till I got some antifreeze. I might not even need the other jug. So it holds exactly 3. Well, that's good. That'll give me antifreeze for the other one. Because we will need it for the Indy for sure. So we'll need 2 more jugs of it for the Indy, but hey, 1 is good enough for now. Well, she's full of antifreeze. I don't see any leaks. I think we're good. Everything looks to be holding. Looks like we got a good coolant system, guys. That would be most beneficial. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here and stick a battery in this thing real quick. And I don't have one good enough to turn it over, unfortunately. All my batteries are barely hanging on. And this is a big engine to turn over, so usually it kills the batteries pretty quick. At least the ones that I have. But what we'll probably do is get us a battery, come out here, and I don't think I've showed the lights on this video yet, so let's check out our markers and taillights and everything working. Alright, I grabbed my best battery out of the shop, or the office. I've been keeping my batteries inside for the winter because they just seem to drain when it gets cold. Alright, we have us light or battery in there. Let me make sure I have enough cord here. And let me reposition y'all so y'all can see all the lights. Let's get the cord under the door. We have front light bar, headlights, then we have turn signals in the front, alright. Then we'll go check out the rear. Alright, let's check out the rear. Should have our running lights on. We should have our brake lights coming on as I hit the brakes. We have our rear light on the bumper. Everything of that should be working. Let me know if it is. And now we can check it out with the markers on, with the headlights on. Alright, there's our running lights. We don't have reverse lights yet. I still need to figure out what's going on with them, but they're not as necessary right now. Everything else is necessary. To turn signals, you know, everything else. We're going to need those things. But tail lights, markers in the front. The only marker that's not coming on, see that one down there is coming on. That one's not. The turn signal's working on that one, but the running light is not. Everything else is working. I think I could do without that too for now. Just until I get everything situated, but hey, it's there. It's looking good. So, oh, also, we found us a trim ring for the stereo. Mike didn't have one when he gave me the stereo, but I found one in my stuff, and just so happens it fit. So, we also did old blue on the dash there. I think that looks good. But, it is surely coming together in this truck, outside of this truck. Whole truck's just coming together, especially since we lowered the rear. All the lights are in it. She's almost ready. I just need to get a couple more things. I've got the fuel pump ordered. I went ahead and ordered that last night. Turn the brightness down a little bit. Went ahead and ordered the fuel pump last night, and it'll be here, I think they said Tuesday. So Tuesday we'll come out here, put the fuel pump on, get the oil change, filter, and be just that much close to getting this thing on the road. After we get the oil, the filter changed, and the fuel pump, all this thing's going to need is a good hot battery and some fuel, insurance, and a tag. So I'd say we did pretty good on this one. I'm going to see y'all in a few days when we get our fuel pump, and we'll go ahead and put that on, get our oil changed, and get it that much closer to being on the road. Alright folks, this came in the mail today. We ordered this a few days ago. It is our fuel pump for old blue, gaskets and everything. So we're going to go ahead and go outside. It is a bit cold out there today. We're going to go ahead and go outside and install this, do our oil change, get that out of the way. So all we'll need is fuel in the battery and some wheel cylinders. Alright, got our fuel pump here, gaskets, and our oil change stuff over there. Let's make sure she's still holding antifreeze. Yep. Still holding antifreeze, and I'm glad I put that in there. So now we're going to need to move or take off the power steering pump to get to this. Would make it a lot easier, so we're going to remove the power steering pump, put it off to the side. Then we can take our lines off of the old fuel pump and get it out of there, because it is behind all of this back in here. So let's get down to business and swap out this fuel pump so we can do our oil change and I can get out of the cold, because I ain't gonna lie, it's cold out here today. It don't look like it, but it's like 40 something, and that's cold for us southerners. We ain't used to that teen temperatures and below stuff. Freeze my ass off. So let's get this done. Alright, we have our brand new fuel pump on down there. We had a bolt snap for our power steering, so we need to locate one of those, and then we can go ahead and change our oil and our filter, get all that knocked out. Alright, we got us a new bolt on there, belt's tight, fuel pump's on and connected, everything is back in place. At this point, I want to try to crawl up under here and change our oil real quick, get that done, and then all we're ready for at that point is a battery, some fuel, and some wheel cylinders in the rear. And this truck should be on the road, running and driving. Oh, I also shined up my grill. As y'all can tell, it looks really good. Truck is looking great. Almost done. Let's change this oil, get that done, so we can go in the house for the rest of the day, because it's cold out here. Alright, we got our oil drain, new oil filters in place. Here's our old oil, definitely dirty. There's our old filter and old fuel pump, old voltage regulator. We're going to save these parts just in case. I don't know if I may need them or not. But I'm going to go inside real quick, put this in front of a heater for a few minutes so it is not so thick, and then we're going to come back out here, add half of this to the truck. Then we'll come out after this is heated up, pour this into the other half of the oil, shake it up, and feed it the rest of the way in. And then we should be done with our oil change and done with today's little task on the old blue Ford truck. got our oil changed. We're right at safe. Everything's good. All right, fuel pump's in, oil change is done. Everything is looking good. So, at this point, we're waiting for fuel, wheel cylinders, and a fresh battery. So hopefully we'll be back here again soon. Well, it could be days for me, seconds for y'all. So we'll be back shortly with the rest of the parts so we can finish this truck up and get it on the road for the first time in probably 20-something years. All right, folks. Unfortunately, we're going to cut the video here. Old Blue still needs a few things, and I don't have the funds till probably next month. Bills are first priority, of course. So I really wanted to get this thing finished up, but we still need a few things, mainly a battery, and I need to get a good one. So it's probably going to be about $250, $300, and I don't have that off top, hands right now. So we're going to have to put this thing on the back burner, and I don't want the video to sit forever, so I'm going to go ahead and put this out. I think it's part 3 on this, or part 4. We'll make a part 3 or a part 4, whichever. I think this is part 2, I think. But we'll find out. Either part 3 or part 4. We will be making another one where we do finish this, get it on the road. And most of that video will probably be just driving it around and working out the bugs and stuff like that. Because I need a battery, I need fuel, I need wheel cylinders for the rear, bleed the brakes. I need some windshield sealant. I need insurance and tax. So that's going to cost some money. That's going to be a next month thing. But we got quite a bit done on this thing so far in this video. We didn't really do any interior work, but just to get a glimpse at what it's looking like. It's looking really good. I wish my headliner looked as good in here as the other truck. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, you need to go check out the video on the Indy, which would have dropped last week. We did a headliner in that one. Turned out awesome. All it legit is an old box that I supported the bins in the box, and then I covered it with a really shitty blanket, which was a shitty blanket for a bed, but not for a headliner. And then stapled it around the edges, and then the staples are hidden under the rim trim ring of the headliner, and it looks awesome. So if y'all want to see that, y'all be sure to go check out that video. It dropped last week. I will have it in the end of the video here for y'all to click on. We did do a whole bunch of work under the hood though in this video. Let me see if I can get the damn thing open with the camera in. I don't know if I can. It's not an easy task. Kind of need 2 hands for these hoods. There we go. Yeah. So we came under here, and voltage regulator, the diode. We've got the, let's check our antifreeze levels actually. Okay, so it didn't leak down much. It's got a slight leak. And honestly, I think it's the bolts that are in a water jacket. So I probably need to go in and seal those. We changed our oil. We put a brand new fuel pump on this thing. Brand new oil filter. Like I said, fresh oil, fresh antifreeze. She's damn near ready for the streets. Just a few more things and she'll be done. So I think what we're going to do to finish out this video is I'm going to go inside and get a battery. Excuse me, I'm going to get a battery. We're going to come out and put a battery in this thing real quick. And I'm going to show you what it looks like at night with all the lights in it. Because it looks good. And I think that'll be a good finish to the video. So let's go get a battery and see what this thing looks like all lit up with all its new lights. Alright, got a battery in. Let's cut our lights on. And what we'll do is we'll cut our light off on the camera. Oh yeah. Tail lights, markers. Now they are more red in person. The camera kind of makes them look a little more of an amber color. But it's looking like a truck. The only marker we don't have is that turn signal down there. The turn signal works, but the marker light don't. I don't think it's the bulb. But that thing looks sharp. Oh, so sharp. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're almost done. So, bear with me. One more video. We should be done with this truck. I know it took a while, and I know a lot of YouTubers are all out there finishing them in one video. Well, it ain't like that for this guy. This guy don't have the funds. Everybody says they're doing budget builds. No. I promise you, this is the channel we're doing budget builds on. These people don't know what budget builds are. Zero. Maybe a couple $100. But it's budget. Very budget. About as budget as you can get. So, y'all want to know how to do shit on a budget? Here we go. It's going to take a while, but it's worth it to save the money. Especially if you don't have it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like the video. Comment down below. I'll be sure to reply to everybody that sends a comment or whatever. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Hit that all notification bell. That way you're notified every time I put out a new video, which is once a week. If you like adventuring and exploring abandoned places and stuff like that, go check out Adventuring O'Brien. Links in the description. Trying to get 500 subscribers on that channel, so y'all be sure to go check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Would love to see you over there. Also, be sure to follow our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok for daily to weekly shop updates. And come join us on Facebook at Flyin Brian's Garage Mud and Race Mowers. Share your builds, share your ideas. Even if you want to share a vehicle in there, I'm cool with it. And if you're in a Flyin Brian's Garage mood, you can go to the channel, click on playlist. There's a bunch of stuff there for you to watch. And if not, be sure to hit the all notification bell so you're notified when we put out the next video, which is probably going to be the Lumina. So, we will see you guys in the next episode.